The following episode will contain spoilers. You have been warned.
You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? Don't you try any of that Babygirl nonsense on me. It ain't working. Amber and Scott discuss how well it would work on them after seeing the movie. And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What would you do?
Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
This movie gave me all sorts of ideas.
Gave you all the feels?
No, it gave me ideas.
Okay. Alrighty. So this episode, we are talking about Babygirl. A high-powered CEO puts her life's work on the line when she begins a torrid affair with her much younger intern. Okay. Tell me about all these thoughts you have.
Get on your knees.
Oh, yeah, that's not happening here. So this was kind of, to me anyway, this decade's 50 Shades of Grey.
Get on your knees.
Okay. I can see we're going to have a fun episode here.
I haven't told you to take your clothes off.
Yeah. Oh,
Yet.
my God. Oh, you're making our audience incredibly uncomfortable.
Cringe.
So we are talking about the CEO played by Nicole Kidman. Her name was Romy. And she had it all. She ran the successful company. She had been in the industry, been recognized, had everything, a husband, 2 kids, everything at the office, and yet...
Everything except a husband who would make her come.
Yeah. Apparently, they had been married 19 years, and she hadn't had an orgasm with him. But you know what?
Imagine being married 19 years to Antonio Banderas and never having an orgasm.
Do you really want me to imagine that? Because
No.
I can pause here and imagine that. So I have to think, though, even if she had an orgasm with her husband, I don't know if that really would have changed anything, because she had specific desires and proclivities that I don't think he was really willing to fulfill.
So here's the funny thing, and I wasn't sure whether or not you were going to go there, so I will. And so if
Do
you...
we need to do a parental warning or anything here?
No, not really. If you happen to be in the world of Tony Robbins, every December, they do an event called Date with Destiny. And I believe it is day 4. Is it day 4 of Date with Destiny?
Yes, relationship day.
Where they very much discuss men and women and their particular roles in relationships, and more masculine and feminine, and that...
Yeah, women embracing their feminine sides and males embracing their masculine sides, and how that creates balance in relationships is what they talk about.
She had a lot of masculine energy, and I don't even think it's because she wanted to have a lot of masculine energy. I think it's because she felt she needed to be who she was.
Oh, gosh, a woman CEO? I mean, you don't get those positions if you're meek and mild, and I think that is where a lot of women end up embracing that masculine energy, because that's what ambition can look like frequently. And if you're just this passive, flowery, giggly girl, you're not going anywhere in business, or at least extremely unlikely.
She wanted to be seen as a woman, but...
And she was, very feminine in her own way. She dressed impeccably and, maintained herself beautifully, and was very much as feminine as you could be. But when it came to behavior and actions, yeah, she definitely had to embrace her more masculine self as the CEO.
Yeah, and I feel like for her to get that equilibrium that she needed, because she had to go so far into masculine energy, that her equilibrium point was hit by having to go so deeply into the feminine or submissive type energy, like way deep.
So you think her desire to be controlled and bossed around came as a balance to the more assertive person she had to be professionally?
I do think so, actually.
That's interesting.
It's a
She did say that she had these feelings and desires since she was extremely young, though.
she probably also had the ambition, and that's sometimes how you have to offset those things. Like when you have to be a certain type of way for work, it is not uncommon to want to go a completely different direction outside of work.
Is that something that's happened to you?
I've never
Just wondering if it was a theory.
I've
or
never
something.
drank milk out of a dish or a saucer on the ground.
Do you
If
want
that's what
to?
you're asking.
Do you want to?
I mean, great.
Do
now
you want
now
to?
you're making the viewers uncomfortable. We can discuss that off air.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's there is I think most people have this desire to be both dominant and submissive. Not simultaneously, but they want to be able to have both sides. And when one side of your life is very balanced or disbalanced towards one of those than the other, then you could swing pretty hard the other way.
I don't know if I agree with the fact that people want to be balanced and embrace both sides. I think a masculine man is many masculine men are okay being masculine men, and they don't necessarily know how to, like, okay, let's bring it back. Let's be a little softer. Let's be a little bit meeker.
Well, yeah,
but I
they
find
don't
value
know,
in balance.
They don't know how to. That is more the point. They don't know how to.
So you think they might?
I think that they probably do have some, because here's the thing: is that like it's kind of like when I talk about with food, and you ask me like, where do you want to eat, and I'm like, I don't care, just you choose, because I have to make a lot of decisions during the course of the day. Mm-hmm. I have to have a lot of control. There are times I just don't want to have control. You just do it, just make it happen, and I really do feel that most people are that way. And I mean, depending on your life, I mean, like if you don't ever swing too hard one way or the other, then the swing back isn't very noticeable either. But yeah, like if you're having to be a high-powered CEO, I mean, how often have we seen things like, I don't know, high-powered people, be them CEOs or politicians or something, and you see that whole like joke about some dominatrix having them on a leash and ball gagged or something.
What?
You've never seen these things?
No.
It's kind of like
your social media feed scares me.
well, it's not my social media feed. It's kind of an old movie trope.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
That because when you're dominant over everyone and everyone's submissive to you, you have to find a way to get that other side. And Samuel,
That was the young intern.
saw it like immediately in her.
Yeah, that was also written into the script.
What?
That was also written into the script.
Well, yes, but I mean, it's still there's still a lot of IRL into that.
So let's get a little IRL. What would you do if you were in any of these characters' shoes? We have Samuel, the younger intern. We have Romy, the CEO, and we also have the husband who had no idea that his wife was discontent and was faking in getting, her final result in bed, and ultimately found out that she had been cheating. But when she misled him and said it was a stranger, it was only once. It was not once. It was a longer term affair with someone that her family, including her husband, had actually met when he stopped by twice unannounced.
Yeah, talk about a power move.
And then the other character too would be Romy's assistant, who ended up dating Samuel at the same time, and then Samuel turned on Romy and told the assistant that he had been with her, and she used this information to blackmail Romy into getting a job. And there's a lot to dig into.
Yeah.
Or get a promotion, rather.
So if you're Samuel, I mean, if that's what you're into, fuck it, go for it. I mean, what do you got to lose? He
had his job to lose.
Well, you're an intern.
Yeah, he was paid.
That's fine. You're an intern. You're fresh out of college. You can go get another internship if you want. If you judge that situation wrong, but if you judge it right, you potentially could really set yourself up well.
Yeah, I think his quality of life went up some from, initially meeting her in a sleazy hotel to a much nicer place with several rooms for them to frequent and enjoy.
Yes.
So, what would you do if you were Samuel? You would seize the opportunity?
I mean, if that's what I was into, I mean, you are literally on the bottom rung, and you think you can take a shot at the literal top rung? Why not? I mean, he had very little to lose, and
That's true.
yeah, it's one of those cost reward or risk reward things, and he didn't have a lot to risk, and the reward was pretty high.
And he kept pushing her out of her comfort zone and saying inappropriate things. And when she didn't immediately shut him down, it obviously opened up the opportunity for him to be like, oh, okay, she didn't push back on that. Let me try this. Let me try this.
Yeah, he figured out how to push her buttons quickly. On the flip side, if I'm her, hell no.
Oh, no kidding.
It's kind of like she said at the end, if I want to be humiliated, I'll pay someone.
Yeah.
Do not.
Well, and that was unfortunately after everything had gone sideways, and she was talking to some other guy who worked at the company who was found out about the situation and was trying to manipulate her with it, and kind of insinuated that he was going to be alone and she could come over. So she did learn her lesson, at least in that respect, but I don't know if she actually learned it long term, because I can almost see a Babygirl too, and she goes down this road again with some other, the waiter at the restaurant that the family goes to for her husband's birthday every year or something.
I mean, I could see there being a similar movie, not with the same characters.
I mean, Nicole Kidman still got a really good naked body, so certainly possible.
Yeah, I was a little curious as the movie went on to see how much
she would show.
Yeah, how much she would show just because she's Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
At this point, like
I was surprised.
Yeah, we definitely saw more of her than I kind of thought we were going to.
Yeah, we saw most of the good parts.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, good parts as far as if someone wants to see some.
Can someone please find a way of making that a quote? We saw most of the good parts.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. If I was a high-powered CEO, if I had a husband of 19 years, 2 kids, and was doing this huge launch and had everything to lose, wow, I mean, I certainly wouldn't make the decisions she made, but the thing is she made them because she had so much to lose, because it was dangerous and it was high stakes and there was a lot on the line. And I think had all those things not been in place, the affair might not have been as appealing to her.
No, it was kind of a scary kink.
Yeah, and the thing about it is just, I mean, there's 2 topics here. There's the desire she had to be dominated and to be submissive and do things like you mentioned earlier about, crawling on all fours and lapping up milk from a saucer like she is a cat, and also the very basic issue of infidelity, and that there are consequences and there's collateral damage when you make decisions like this.
Yeah, and it's not like she didn't love her family.
Yeah.
Like, she was really into her family. I think it's one of those things that she maybe didn't realize that she was missing until she realized she was.
Oh, I think she
missing
realized she was missing orgasms.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
very
she
confident
clearly
she
was
knew that.
missing orgasms, but everything else. Because
but
she
that's a big
probably was in a
deal.
position that no one had talked to her that way in a long time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes you're drawn to something just because it's different. Like, if you're used to one thing all the time, you can be drawn to something just because it's different. And that was definitely different.
Yeah, and it satisfied a prolonged scratch or a prolonged itch that she had, finding him to take care of that for her.
Yeah.
And I think my last what would you do is her assistant. Her assistant who had been trying to talk to her about a promotion, and Romy was busy and hadn't done that yet. And once the assistant found out about the affair, and she seemed very quickly to seize the opportunity to leverage that of saying, I want to continue to think of you highly and to promote you as a successful, wonderful woman who is a great leader, who, lifts up other leaders, and was the most positive blackmailer I had ever seen.
Yeah, good for her. I mean, honestly, the corporate ladder is a scary place.
So when you say good for her, what would you do is you would do the same?
I would.
Wow. Okay.
I
That's
mean,
interesting.
listen, if I've got that, I mean, especially if I feel like I've been passed up for a little bit here and I've been...
Oh, she liked her. It wasn't a matter of being passed up for things.
But
Also, too, some of that responsibility lays on the assistant. If she'd come to her for a couple of times and said, I want to talk to you about my promotion, and Romy had said, oh, yeah, we have to do that. If I'm the assistant, I put myself on her calendar. I'm in charge of her calendar. I put myself on her calendar. Hey, Thursday, 12 to 12:30. I'm on your calendar. We're talking about my promotion.
Yeah, but...
I don't think the alternative, at least for myself, is I'm going to blackmail you so I can get ahead.
Yeah, but when this... I mean, she didn't go looking for blackmail, but she sure as hell found it.
Yeah, I think we've had this discussion before about, what someone will do to get ahead and how you feel about having gotten ahead that way. And I think we kind of have different ideas of where that line might be.
I mean, sometimes in this world you have to... yeah, there's a line of morality, but also, if you're a boss, don't let your assistant find out that you've been having kinky sex on the side with the intern.
Oh, yeah, okay. And also, get on your knees.
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.